You're listening to The J with your host, Kennedy.
Good evening, everyone, or good morning, or good afternoon, depending on what time you are listening to this episode. You are listening to The J, and it is episode 151, and this episode is a Nintendo DS special. What my plan is to do for the next, 2 episodes is pretty much do video game-based episodes. We have received, quite a bit of email within the past few months regarding video games, especially imports. And I know that it's been a while since we have covered it on JENT. Geez, I think it's probably about 50 or more episodes since we've done that. So it's been quite a while. So, what I wanted to do with today's episode is pretty much focus on the Nintendo DS and talk about, import games out, that's out for it. And also, what's out here in the U.S. And in the upcoming episode, we'll talk about what games are coming out on the PSP, what's available by import, and so forth. What you just heard is the theme song, or actually the opening title screen for the widely addictive game called Animal Crossing, or for purists out there, Oide yo Dobutsu no Mori. As mentioned on the JENT website and probably on the podcast, I haven't really played Animal Crossing on the GameCube because, I tend not to get into games that kind of swallow you up, and pretty much you dedicate too much time on it, because time is what I don't have. But what I found out is that this game is just addicting. I gave it a try. After reading the reviews, after, people saying, you gotta try it, you know what? I did. And I became addicted to it. I don't put in a lot of time into it. What I do is I pretty much play probably an hour of it, after midnight. So it's a little late, and I play about 30 minutes once I wake up. So you're probably wondering, what is Animal Crossing? For those of you who haven't played the game, the main object of the game, and I don't think there's an ending, it's pretty much, you choose a character, a boy or girl, you name it, and you get a house. And you start, you live, it's like you live in a place that you create. Well, you don't create anything, actually. You name it. And you live in this town that's inhabited by other people who live there, and there are local shops, and pretty much you make your life, paying off your home by doing odd jobs such as fishing, or getting fruit off trees and finding fossils and so forth. There's actually a lot of activities during in the town, but what makes it what I found a little bit addicting is that for one, I didn't know it's going to be that involving. A lot of people say, well, having to collect money and pay for your house and do odd jobs, that's not fun. But truthfully, it is. Heck, I enjoyed Shenmue on the Dreamcast and the Xbox, and I think with Animal Crossing, it's not like that, but yet you still have to, it's just pretty much getting out of reality and meeting other people in the village who have their own characteristics. For my game, for Animal Crossing, in my village, there's a bear named Poncho. All he cares about is working out, total athlete, and very masculine. Then you have Aurora, a penguin who tends to be quite friendly, and you have you have characters like that. These animals who have their own characteristics. You have Elvis the lion, who pretty much is just a dick, and you have Allie, who is very seems like she's quite materialistic, and pretty much you talk to them daily, and sometimes they get sick, sometimes they offer you advice of things that they wish they can have, and pretty much if you send them or give them good things, they give you good things back. And part of the goal is to build a perfect town, and also to have a great home. And that means like right now, since I just started playing the game, pretty much invested in a lot to build my home. First by adding more rooms, making it look good, buying maybe certain colors, or trying to get it all feng shui conscious and all that. But and pretty much here you find fossils which you donate to the museum, and that kind of becomes a little chore in itself. You want to, right now my village has orange trees, but to make more money, you want to get other fruit out there. So, like I said, give good gifts to your village people, and they'll give good gifts back. And some have given me, apples and cherries. So you plant those, and pretty much you want your village to flourish, to make money, to buy better things for your village people, so you can get better stuff. But of course, the most addicting factor that people are buying this game, like crazy in Japan and also in the US, and I'm guessing pretty much wherever DSs are sold, is that it has wireless play, where you can play with other people around the country. How this works is that you create a Nintendo Wi-Fi Nintendo Wi-Fi code, and you can give it to your friends. What I do is I go on GameFAQs. There is a Animal Crossing social message board where you can post your friend code, and people can add it to their they can register it, so you can visit their towns and they can visit your town, and it's all fun. One night I was playing with around midnight, and this dude from the East Coast was up 3 a.m. saying, "Hey, come to my town, you can take whatever you want." And I thought that was just pretty unreal. Pretty cool person. Went to his town and got some stuff that I've never seen before. And I saw his house, and it was just like humongous. And I'm like, oh, this guy's been playing for a long time. But I think it's pretty wonderful how you can actually play with other people. Another guy came from, I think, Mexico or something, and he joined in. And I don't know how many people you could have at one time, but the fact that you could interact with people, it's fun. And definitely, if you want a game that you can interact with people all around the country and all around the world, well, all around the country for now, that's from what I've seen, definitely give Animal Crossing a chance. There is some, danger within the online community. There are people who like to wreak havoc, and what that means is that, let's say they come to your town. You gotta pay attention to what they're doing. If you open your gates to the public, that means that people can come in via Wi-Fi, and either some people, majority of people, they're very cool. They go out there, they'll either drop items so you can plant stuff in your community, in your village, or they'll give you items, or they'll take items that they can have for their community. Like some places, like again, my village is mainly oranges. But oranges may be big in another place, or they'll give you another fruit that you don't have, and so forth. But there are people out there, again, who will cause trouble. They see you have fruit trees that they don't have, and they make a lot of money. They may chop all your trees down while you don't even know about it. So you kind of have to be careful, because there are people out there who will cause problems. And you have to definitely, look into the GameFAQs social and know the people who you're inviting and people that, you want to visit often. So it's good to be on the GameFAQs social board or other message boards where people are moderating. And, if there's a problem maker, you can, let people know about that. But all in all, it's a fun game, very addicting. And, at first, again, I was worried that this was a game that you have to spend hours upon hours. But if you are a busy person and can only put 30 minutes to an hour and maybe more, definitely a game to check out. So that's Animal Crossing, which is currently out in the US. So if you are playing Animal Crossing and, would like to visit my village, or if I can visit your village, shoot me an email at nt2099@gmail.com. Anyway, let's go on to an import, or actually several imports that are out on the DS right now. And what you heard is the title theme for the game Osu Tatakae Ouendan. This game is currently the most purchased import game at this time from Japan. When I did Jump All Stars, that was an awesome game. This game will appeal to the J-Rock, J-Pop fans out there. It's so awesome. And pretty much, it's pretty... how do I say it? Really different and unique. It has a little bit of a manga-like flair. For those of you who played Gitaru Man for the PS2, it's made from the same creator. And this one came out it's from Nintendo. And what I like about this game is that it pretty much features gang members. But these gang members are not what you think they are. They're more like cheerleaders. And these guys look rough and tough and, can kick a lot of ass. And it's not a fighting game. It's more of a rhythm game. And pretty much the main object is that these people are having problems. Like, there was the first mission. There's a guy who is having a hard time studying for his entrance exams, and his families, really don't listen or are not very helpful. They don't care that he's studying, and he needs help, so he calls the gang up. And these trio of guys, you have a choice of hard level or, a slightly easy level, and pretty much, while the music is going on, you see these little like balls, and around the ball is like an aura that shrinks down, and you have to click with your stylus on the ball at the right moment. It may not sound so great, but I think when you see the storyline, it's very appealing, very entertaining, very humorous. And the great thing about it, if you are a Japanese music fan, is the music. I was shocked to hear Morning Musume on here. I was shocked to hear Orofuru is on here. The Morning Musume song, it's, Koi no Dansaito, and there's, what do you call it? Orofuru's, I think it's Banzai. Let me check. I'm gonna go ahead and start this right now. Such an awesome game. Let's try the Morning Musume one first. The Morning Musume one is pretty much about a woman, an OL, office lady, and she dreams about the company president of being with him. But of course, she's slightly nerdy, and the other women that work with her don't like her. So, all the women likes the company president, and unfortunately, he doesn't give an eye to her, and the women get very upset when they see her for some reason. So she calls the help of the gang, and here we are. I'm losing. I messed up. Oh, shoot. And through the help of the gang, she manages to dance with the company president. Anyway, what you heard when you heard these banging sounds, pretty much what that was that you heard me hitting the balls during the rhythm. And again, you have to hit it once the aura gets close to touching the ball, and you hit it with your stylus, and you see the gang do their dance moves. You miss, which you heard me miss quite a few times near the end, and they all fall down and stuff. But fortunately, it says here that I got 46 of them, and I missed 9. Then once you open that up, you get 2 more levels to try. One of them is Orofurs, their song Gatsudaze. I think I said Banzai, but I meant Gatsudaze. And that's an awesome song. And that one is a little bit more difficult because balls show up everywhere, and you have to get them in order. And you see the numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you have to be really quick with the stylus. There's another one where you have to roll a ball and then click the button, and it gets a little fast, and it gets a little challenging, but it's actually a very, very fun game. And since many of you who are probably listening who are familiar to these Japanese songs will definitely have a fun time, and like Koi no Dansai, which you just heard, the rhythm, the song, and pretty much you know what to expect of where the balls are when you click on them. So very cool game. And definitely one of the highest ordered import game for the DS right now. So you can get it anywhere. Oh, yeah, that's one thing I gotta answer for some people who actually have written to me before regarding Jump All Stars and other imports that I've bought. The question that I'm asked quite frequently is, where do I buy my games? Well, there's different places where you can order from. There's Liksang, that's liksang.com. There might be a hyphen between lik-sang.com. That one is they're based in Hong Kong. A lot of people like to order from them. I order from yesasia.com, which is based in California, and also there's ncsx.com. So you definitely want to check, there's also playasia.com. You want to definitely check the different sites out, because prices are different on various sites, and they offer different shipping. Like, for instance, Liksang, a lot of people like to get their games the next day. Yes, Asia, people like the free shipping, but you pretty much have to, wait a few days and so forth. NCSX, they're great. They're East Coast, but there is no free shipping. But still, if you, again, There's some places may have the games available, some places may not. So it's definitely good to check out these 4 sites. A lot of people ordered from them, had never had any problems. So check that out. The other thing you may want to do also is if you have an anime convention near your area, a lot of import dealers who sell video games are usually at those cons, and you can pretty much, if you are very good with your bartering techniques, bring the cost down for certain games. And also, if there's certain games that you want to get on the go, definitely bring your DS and your PSP to these anime conventions, because you'll find a lot of people playing them, and they can give you a really good insight if a game sucks or not. So definitely check that out. What you just heard is the opening title theme for the game Tennis no Oji-sama Crystal Drive 2005. And I guess many of you know Tennis no Oji-sama as Prince of Tennis, a popular manga and anime, which is about, focuses, in the beginning on Ryoma Ichizen, who is a young tennis player who has, great skills, lived in the U.S. and now has come back to Japan, and is pretty much joins up with a school with really talented, tennis players, and I guess you could think of it as, have you seen the movie Shaolin Soccer? Remember how everyone in that team, in the main team, the popular team, every person has its own technique and special attributes. Well, the same thing goes with Tennis no Oji-sama, Prince of Tennis. The team, Seigaku, which is the main school. They pretty much have, a group of guys with their own technique. Everyone's a little surprised about Ryoma because this kid's young, very silent, but he has a lot of skill. And he's learning a lot from, his senpais. And these guys, there's... Oh gosh, I don't even want to go through the anime because you guys have to check it out yourself to know their techniques, but pretty much what this game is about and the reason why I enjoy it so much is, remember that Super Nintendo game, Super Tennis? That was one of the best tennis games in my opinion. Sure, you have a lot of games right now like Top Spin and Virtual Tennis, which are great because they utilize, real tennis players, real professional tennis players. And the gameplay is great, but for those of us who grew up playing with our Super Nintendos, a lot of us really loved the game Super Tennis because, there's a lot of characters and, everyone has their own attributes and so forth, but it was very challenging. And what I love about this game, Prince of Tennis, Tennis no Oji-sama Crystal Drive 2005, it's almost the same thing. Well, not almost the same thing. It's actually, the look is almost the same, but one thing that's fabulous is that almost every character from the anime is represented. And I think there's over 50 characters that you could open. You start off with about, 4 from the main Seigaku team. And then you have, people from other schools. But the cool thing about this is that, so far I've only played, one tournament. I played not Kakamoto. I think it's Kawamura, yeah. And pretty much what happened is that, you get all these points, and these points can be used to purchasing food or certain attributes to build your character. And this is really unique because everyone has their own special technique, and playing on a DS, it's probably easier maybe when the Nintendo DS Lite comes out here to the US, but it's a little awkward because to do the special moves you have to hold the shoulder buttons down and then hit A or B during you're playing the tennis game, but actually you get used to it. But again, I think when the Nintendo DS Lite comes out, I think it'll be a little easier to control your character. But all in all, this game is actually fabulous. If you love Super Tennis, you're going to love this game. Let me go ahead and turn the sound up and play a match so you can hear it. Oh, and one thing I want to add is that you could also select, select different coaches, and there's a lot of techniques out there. It's like when someone is actually preparing their special move, and they're utilizing their coach. You can utilize your coach and steal some of their aura or power, I guess you could say. You have a gauge bar on the left that shows you when you could use your special moves, and these are very useful in the game. And if you're familiar with the anime series, it's awesome how they utilize special techniques in this game. But again, I'm going to go ahead and select Ryoma. And one thing that selects right now is Ryoma. He has a special moves, but there's only one problem. In this game, your character is judged in 3 different areas. Your grip, of how good you are holding the racket, your speed, and your power. Ryoma has great speed, but the problem is his grip is very low, so if you're going against a strong character, and they utilize a certain special move, you can lose your racket. And if you lose your racket 3 times, you become DKO'd, or you're knocked out. Even though you're winning a game and doing great, if they utilize that move and you lose your rackets 3 times, you're out of the game. So you get knocked out. So pretty much you have to utilize your skills wisely. And let me go ahead and try this. I'm going to go ahead and use let me use Kawamaru here. Let's go against Kaido.
Yes, sir. 負けらんねえ。
I'm doing a practice match, so I don't know. There's no crowd yelling or anything like that.
何も責めるばかりがテニスじゃありませんよ。
お前のテニスはどういうテニスだったかな？
精神力で勝つ。
And pretty much that was a quick game. Anyway, again, if you enjoy Super Tennis for the Super Nintendo, you're gonna enjoy this game. It's again, it's awesome. You have a lot, you have a big choice of characters, and you can open up, dozens and dozens and dozens of more characters from different schools, who have their own attributes and their own challenges and their own difficulty. So, if you're good at that, if you were good at Super Tennis, and that was a challenging game, you'll definitely like that. There is no female teams, of course, where Super Tennis had the female tennis players. These guys are all guys. But again, awesome game. So tennis fans, check it out. Tennis no Ori-sama, Crystal Drive, 2005. Anyway, some of you may be asking, what games, are out in the US for the DS that are pretty cool? What games are worth checking out? Well, of course, Mario Kart DS. I just got that game, thanks to Jackie of Twinkie and Beyond podcast, and him and his buddies of the NWP, always play this game online, and I decided, you know what, I'll give it a try. And okay, Jackie, once I get this thing down, definitely would like to take you on a game of Mario Kart DS. The game has received good ratings from every magazine, and even the video game television shows like X-Play. They gave it 5 out of 5. And one thing that's really unique about Mario Kart DS is that yes, incorporates things from previous Mario Kart games, but also there are mission games which they take on missions which you tend to see from a lot of auto games, like go through the tubes and go through this 5 times and pick up this many power-ups and stuff like that. And then you take on the boss, and I believe there are there are 5 levels with about 10 missions each level, and a lot of challenges there. So, and there's also I guess you could, if I recall, there were other modes there. I can't even remember right now, brain fart. But anyway, again, has online play. It's something that people have been waiting for a long time, and it's on the DS, so definitely check that game out. Another game that I love is Castlevania. In fact, let me look at it right now here. Castlevania Dawn of Sorrow. If you played Aria of Sorrow for the Game Boy Advance, it's an awesome game. Let's leave it at that. The game just continues where Aria of Sorrow last left off. Very awesome game, very addictive. And if you haven't tried Aria of Sorrow for the GameCube, not the GameCube, but the Game Boy Advance, definitely check it out. I highly recommend it. It's a really awesome game. I have not been a Castlevania fan like my friends are. Those guys are hardcore. But I played I think the PlayStation, I think it was Symphony of the Night, and I enjoyed that one, so I decided, I want to, play all the other Castlevania games that were available on the Game Boy Advance and the PS2, and I can tell you this much, I've never had so much fun until I played, Aria of Sorrow, and Dawn of Sorrow continues that, and enjoying that a lot. There's Advance Wars, which is a, real-time strategy game, awesome. Advance Wars is one of those games that always gets high ratings and very enjoyable, and highly recommend that. I'm not into those type of games. I don't buy those type of games for some reason. Advance Wars, I dig it. It's something that really challenges your intelligence, and at the same time makes it very fun and enjoyable to play as you control armies and different armies against a evil army, and it's very awesome. There's Trauma Center. Trauma Center is a little hard. It's you play a doctor. It's very anime-like with a really good storyline, but very, very challenging and very difficult. So if you got skills, bring it on. Trauma Center is really good. There's Phoenix Wright, which is a lawyer-based game where you select, you solve different cases, and it has a really deep storyline that's really cool. But the problem is right now is that they discontinued it, and according to many sites, that the game is now going as high as $90 to $100. So definitely a collector's item. So if you see it at the store, definitely pick it up, especially if you see it used. Another game, I bought Lost in Blue, and Lost in Blue is based on a popular series called Survivor Kids. And in this game, Lost in Blue, you are shipwrecked on an island with a girl who you find later on. But it's pretty much a game of survival. You walk in an island where you don't see anybody and there's dangers there, and pretty much you're low on food, you're low on water, and you pretty much have to survive. And what do you have to do? You really have to fight to survive and find ways to survive. And it's a little challenging at first, but I highly recommend you do your review on that first. Look around different sites, and if it appeals to you, then check it out. But I like it. It's just that it's it's one of those games I think I need to go to GameFAQs to read up on, because again, it's all about survival, and any help that you can get is definitely worth it. Another game is Trace Memory, which is a puzzle game. You solve different puzzles and try to figure out the disappearance of your parents. Very cool game. Again, another game if you can find it. Then there's Minios, a puzzle game, which is very awesome. I think I've talked about it on a previous podcast. Game got great ratings. If you played Luminous for PSP, same maker, Q Entertainment, that's Minios. There's Puyo Pop Fever, which is a Tetris-like game, and that one's awesome. Definitely check that out. Coming out on March 20th is Tetris DS, and I know some of you are like, what do you mean, Tetris? I don't know about that. But one thing that's, I guess, really awesome about this game is that it'll incorporate themes and characters from previous Nintendo games, such as Legend of Zelda, Metroid, and there's Balloon Fight, Donkey Kong, Mario Brothers, Super Mario Brothers, and they incorporate that. And according to this press release I'm reading right now, Tetris DS will have players humming along as their thumbs move at lightning speed. On March 20th, Tetris DS launches exclusively for Nintendo DS with 6 game modes, each themed with classic Nintendo characters and remixed classic Nintendo music. The new ways to play reignite the addictive passion of one of the most popular games of all time. So that comes out on March 20th. According to this, players can connect to Nintendo Wi-Fi connection, Nintendo's wireless gaming service, or choose one of 6 other ways to play. There's mission mode. In this Legend of Zelda theme mode, players race the clock to complete the missions that appear on the top of the screen before time runs out. Catch is a Metroid theme mode, where players try to land Tetraminos, falling blocks on any side of ever-growing floating piles of Tetraminos. There's puzzle mode. Players solve up to 200 tricky Tetris puzzles at their own pace. There's standard. This Mario theme mode features the same addictive gameplay that made the original Tetris so widely popular. There's touch, the unique balloon fight theme take on Tetris really shows off the touchscreen capability of the Nintendo DS. And there's the push, which is the goal of this multiplayer Donkey Kong theme mode, is to clear 2 lines at a time to push the group of Tetraminos into an opponent's red zone. So, it sounds like a very fun game. Sounds pretty innovative, and I'm glad they are introducing a lot of the classic Nintendo characters and the music to this game. So, definitely diehard Nintendo fans are definitely going to enjoy this. So, another question people have asked is, why buy an import? What's the difference of purchasing the games via Japan? A lot of the Nintendo-based games will be coming out in the U.S. Games such as like Osu Tatakae Oendan, I don't think so, because of the music, unless they change the music for the U.S. But if they're going to use the same music, they're using popular artists, and I think licensing for that, don't know. It's one of the reasons why you see a lot of music removed. Well, not removed, but you don't really see too many entertainment-based things from Japan that utilize popular, music released in the U.S. So I guess, I don't know if it's a licensing issue. I really don't know about that, but it would be great if the game came out, but I don't see that happening. Another music rhythm-based game that I'll probably review next week, which is actually a pretty sweet game, is Dai Gasso Band Brothers. And this one features a lot of music from Nintendo DS games to J-pop music. There's also an expansion for it, which has 31 new songs and features groups such as Orange Range, Mr. Children. In fact, let me look at this real quick here. Anyway, I'll review this next week. It's Daigaso Band Brothers. So, should have something on that coming soon. This game came out, I think, back in 2004, but and then last year was the expansion. But it's a pretty cool game that a lot of people have given great reviews. Again, if you love rhythm games, you definitely want to check this game out. Also, so I mentioned, Osu Takae Oendan, awesome game. So, yeah, pretty much with imports, they're not expensive anymore, not like they used to be. I remember back then, purchasing a Super Nintendo game, I would have to pay close to $100, and this was for the second Ranma 1/2 game for the Super Nintendo. And I remember getting one for, I think it was Dragon Ball, the first Dragon Ball game for either Super Nintendo, and it cost me a fortune to buy those. I was young and I was just got out of high school, and it was pretty expensive, but now, you buy these games and they're just, $5 or $10 more for a Nintendo DS game. And even some PS2 games, PSP games as well, they're not that expensive compared to what they used to be back then. But, yeah, a lot of games you find online, you can find them, as low as $45 or $49.99. And, most games I know that are released in the US range anywhere between $29 to $39. So, you can find, really good import games for just $5 or $10 more. So, definitely check out those sites I mentioned earlier. Anyway, was definitely trying to check out what's happening on the Nintendo press site, but unfortunately it seems it's not working right now. But all in all, I hope, you got an idea of some cool games coming out for the Nintendo DS, or that are out, actually. And what's cool to check out on imports. But, definitely check it out. Especially Animal Crossing and Osu Tatakai Oendan and, Tennis no Oji-sama, Crystal Drive 2005, Mario Kart DS. A lot of good games coming out for the Nintendo DS. I know way back when I first podcasted, when the system came out, there was not too many, good games that came out. But around last year, around September, there was a flood of cool games out, and especially the imports like Super Jump Brothers and what did I say? Not Super Jump Brothers, Super Jump All Stars, and now there's Bleach that's out. That's a popular game right now, and created by the people who made Gunstar Heroes. Oh, I forgot, there is another game that I purchased that I just remembered. It's, Feel the Magic 2, which is called Rub Rabbits here in the US, and in Japan it's called Akachan wa Doko Kara Kuru no. Where do babies come from? The object of the game is pretty much similar like the first. You play a lot of puzzles. You play a guy, and you're trying to catch this girl's attention. But I guess in this game you go a little further than dating. The main storyline is you like this, hot girl, and you're battling for her, trying to beat all these other guys to have her as your girlfriend. One problem, though, is that you literally run into this girl who falls in love with you, and she's supposedly some brainiac, and some mad scientist type of girl, and she falls for you. And she's not too appreciative that you like another girl, so she tries to get in your way, and she wants you all for herself. But this is the storyline of the Rub Rabbits, and I don't really care for the name, Rub Rabbits, but it has something to do with, I guess the name of the group, or the guys from the last game. But anyway, if you love Feel the Magic, you're definitely gonna love this game. There's more puzzles, definitely really exciting. So definitely check that out. Also, there's Biohazard or Resident Evil. Haven't checked that game out, but according to some people, if you like the original game, then definitely check it out. If you definitely want it portable. So anyway, I know this episode is going a little long, but again, a lot of cool Nintendo DS stuff coming out, and next time when we podcast, we'll be talking about what's out for the Sony PSP, and then we'll be back to our original format, talking about what's happening in Asian entertainment news, and also we'll be playing PodSafe music. So you guys take care, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Visit JET on the web at www.nt2099.com/J-ENT and email JETradio at nt2099@gmail.com. See you next time.